What's going on, everybody? Jeremy Ritz, Courage Pays Better Than Fear Trading, wishing you a happy April. Tomorrow is going to be April 1st, 2025, the fourth month of this beautiful new year. And I want to make sure that you are starting off right in the stock market. So what we're going to do today is go through the calendar for the month of April so you know which dates are coming, when the data is going to be released related to jobs information, inflation, when Big Papa Powell is going to be speaking, which is actually this Friday. I want to make sure that you are prepared, informed, so that you can rock this April. So without any further hesitation, let's check out April. All right, so here we go. Here is the calendar for the month of April, and this is something that I share with all of my members of the Courage community, just to lay out what is coming up in the month. And we're going to break it down here for everybody. Now, remember, when I put these calendars together, I try to focus on seasonality, which if you've ever followed the Stock Traders Almanac, it really closely follows seasonality, which means during certain times of the year, we see certain things happen in the stock market. And it's basing that information off of historical data. And what we see about April is that it's the last month that's part of the best 6 months in the market, which starts back in November. So we see that end. And if you just glance at this calendar, you could see that there are several days. Let me count them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days with bullish sentiment. And what that means is in that Stock Traders Almanac, they list these days as having a bullish inherent bias, which means historically over the past however many years, that these days have typically been bullish. So keep an eye on that. So wherever you see the green, potentially you might see some green in your portfolio as the market is supposed to rise. But let's just break down what we're going to be looking at here in terms of the data. And one thing that's not on this chart that I talked about in a short today is that on April 2nd, that's tariff day. And this is when all the tariffs are going to take effect, and we're going to see how that's going to impact the market. As I said, I'm looking for a sell the rumor, buy the news type of event because we've been down so much. So we'll see if things flip from there. And just taking a look here this first week, April Fool's Day, which is tomorrow, we're going to get JOLTS data, which is jobs data, and some manufacturing PMI, ISM manufacturing PMI, which is going to tell us whether or not the economy is expanding or contracting. And we'll also get ISM services PMI. So the service sector, that will tell us, are we expanding or contracting? And then Friday is going to be very pivotal because we're going to get information related to the labor market. And one thing I really want to see is what's going to happen with the unemployment rate. We've been at 4.1% for quite some time. There is some discussion that we could see an uptick this week in this report to 4.2%. We'll see how the market wants to interpret that. But most importantly, Big Papa Powell, Jerome Powell, the chair of the Federal Reserve, is going to be speaking. I believe that is at 11:25 a.m. Eastern time. I will have a link in my community for that. So just be prepared for that because what he does say will move the markets. We'll see if he's going to be dovish, if he's going to be hawkish, but he always has a significant effect on the stock market. And then we can see the next week on the 9th, we're going to get the FOMC minutes. So the Fed's minutes from their meeting in March. So we're going to see if that has a hawkish or dovish leaning. And then on Thursday, the big day when we get CPI, that's our first inflation report, followed by PPI. That's the producer's price index. So we get the consumer price index, followed by producer price index. And we're also going to get Michigan consumer sentiment and jobless claims. And so these 2 days here are definitely going to push the market higher. Are we going to see stickier inflation? Are we going to see inflation dropping? If inflation comes in hotter than expected, we are going to see probably some weakness and further selling. If it's cool, we could see the market rallying a bit. So keep an eye on those dates. And then I have on here marked that it's a full moon on the 12th because typically when you go look at the charts, when you do see full moons, you do see upticks in markets. So let's see if that has any impact on things here in April. And the last thing that I'll mention is the banks are going to start reporting here on the 11th. I'm going to make a little cash sign. I think Wells Fargo reports this day, BlackRock, and a host of other banks, and it really kicks off earnings season. The one thing I'm watching for this round of earnings is how are companies factoring in tariffs into their bottom lines? Is it impacting profitability? Is it causing them to lower their forecasts? And if we see that, we can see the next leg lower in the market. So make sure you're paying attention to that next Friday. Heading to the 14th through the 18th, we are going to be closed on the 18th for Good Friday. So take some time to get away from the markets. I talked about in my podcast last week that you got to get away from the charts every once in a while just to give yourself a break, give your mind an opportunity to reset. So the 18th, you'll be able to do that. That'll be Easter weekend. So hopefully everybody has their bunny ears on. Here's my little bunny picture. That's terrible. Maybe do some Easter egg hunts with the kids. So that'll be a fun weekend there. So that's the 20th. I will point out here on the 17th, we are going to have options expiration day. So there's always some volatility surrounding that particular moment during the month. So keep an eye on that on the 17th. Heading into the last full week of April, on the 24th, we'll get existing home sales, durable goods data that will come in. Again, we're going to get information about the economy. Is it contracting? Is it expanding? No data on the 25th. And then when we head into that last week of April, you could see that we're going to get JOLTS data again early, and we just had that on the 1st. So that will be for the month of April, I'm guessing. And then the 30th is going to be a huge day. We have GDP, we have PCE, we have personal spending, we have personal income. And historically, that has been a bearish day. So we will see what transpires and plays out on the 30th. Now, the one thing that I don't have on here, and I talked about earnings on the 11th, is this week right here, the 21st through the 25th, we're going to start seeing some of the big boys of the markets report their earnings. Netflix in particular, I believe they're going to be either reporting the 22nd or the 24th. I'm trying to get accurate dates on that now. But those big companies like Netflix, like the Mag 7, your Tesla, Microsoft, Apple, Meta, we're going to be watching those very closely to see what they're saying about tariffs and the state of the market, the economy. And that's really going to tell us where we are headed next. So be ready for that. And again, this video is prepping you for April. You know what to expect. You know what's coming up. Be ready for Papa Powell this Friday. We got the full moon, the week of the 12th, that week of the 14th. We have OpX Day on Thursday. The markets close Friday. Then we have Easter, and then we got existing home sales, durable goods, and then a banger of a day on the 30th, GDP, PCE, personal spending, personal income, and it's a bearish sentiment day. So April should be a fun month. I can't wait to see how it all plays out. And that's going to do it for my April preview of the stock market. Hopefully you found value in this video. Please like, subscribe, share with your family and friends. Let me know something that you would like to see covered here on Courage Trading. I will gladly put that video together for you. Make sure you check out the rest of the content on the channel. And until next time, make it a phenomenal day. Take care, everyone.